Hey guys, Heavy Arms 45 here. Now, happy Thanksgiving. Now, I know there's a lot of people that probably don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You're upset over the whole idea of the story of the pilgrims and how the pilgrims on their cold days of first come to this country, the Native Americans gave them food and stuff like that. And they decided that, hey, since they gave them this food, we shall break bread with them. And that was the very first Thanksgiving, being thankful for what they had. And that's the story that you're told as a little kid all the time. That's how the first Thanksgiving went. And we find that uh fairy tales are good for some cases. But that's not the way it actually went. And I understand you're upset about that. Um But I also want to say that, you know, Thanksgiving is not the same thing for everybody. Like, some people don't think about the actual pilgrim, but it's a day of being thankful for what you have, like good health. Yes, every day you can be thankful, but this one day where you and your family members cut out all the other stuff in your lives, your work, your video games, probably for this 1 hour, you all get together and have your nice, decent meal that y'all can have. And kind of like the precursor to Christmas, you all get your um turkey, your dressing, your cranberry sauce. My family does macaroni, green bean casserole. You have I wish I could play that song. Beans, green tomatoes, potatoes, tomatoes. I can't do it though. Because, she got her stuff. But that did bring me to something I want to talk about. Um Speaking of the idea of using stuff for what it wasn't originally made for. Like I said, Thanksgiving originally was talking about how the pilgrims was thankful, but we're not worried about the pilgrim more. It's us thinking about what we're thankful for in our life, taking time to be paid. Kind of like how in a lot of I mean, not in a lot of but a lot of Christianity, there is days that were pagan holidays that Christians just decided to use their own. Christmas was originally a pagan holiday, but then we said no, we don't make this Jesus' birthday. Easter was a pagan holiday. To a fertility god, I won't say that's why you have the Easter bunny, because bunnies multiply rapidly. And even though it was a pagan holiday, we use that now as a day when Christians say that's when Jesus did got on the cross and was rose from dead. That's what Easter's all about. So we transition and twist things to our own advantage to suit what we need. And I wanted to talk about a couple anime that use someone else's idea. Someone uses somebody else's idea for themselves. And don't worry, these are not done being order. I'm not doing least great. I'm just gonna name them off. The first one that I have is from the anime Cogis. And you'll wonder what is it about Cogis, because there were a lot of different plans, but the specific one I'm talking about is Lucia's final plan to deal with his dad. Um, his dad has a plan to really screw over the rest of the world. Everything's going to stay the way it's supposed to be. His mom is there, and his dad and mom are basically planning on taking over the world, enslaving all humanity. And Lelouch takes their idea of their personification of God and how he controls everything, and knowing that his Gios doesn't work on his dad, he uses it on the one they call God, and made God get rid of his mom and dad. he told them to told God to get rid of, and not big G, little G God. And so that's what he does. So Lelouch used his parents' own plan of trying to take over the world to correct what he saw was a injustice, and would be continue to be an injustice in society if he let those two live. Even though it was his mother who he cared about ever since the first beginning of this show, because without her, he would not be Lelouch, be Britannia. He would not have gone through all this stuff, because he's thinking this whole time that someone assassinated his mother, and someone did assassinate his mother. But at the same time, even though his mother was assassinated, she wasn't quite dead. And if you didn't know about this, spoilers. I'm sorry that I spoiled this for you. But guess what? There's going to be a lot of spoilers on this thing. So you better just get ready to ride this thing out till finally I get to the end of it. So the next thing that I have that is somebody using somebody else's idea is literally someone using somebody else's ideas. In My Hero Academia. In My Hero Academia, Shigaraki, Tomura Shigaraki is, I think that's his name, but Shigaraki is trying to start his League of Villains, having a difficult time. He's already tapped the UAJ, um, and USJ, and it didn't really work well for him. But he is introduced as a new guy named Stain, and Stain has this philosophy that is so magnetic that people, even though he's captured, is so beguiled by it. They're so astonished by this whole man's idea that Shigaraki just rolls with it and says, "Hey, yeah, Stain was one of my people. Yeah, y'all could go with me, and we could both fulfill Stain's philosophy of no heroes out here are true hero. If you're out there trying to just do this to get money, you're not a true hero. The only ones that are worth it are All Might and Deku right now, if I remember correctly. There's not many people that are worthy to take the name hero, because heroes of that time is somewhat corrupt. And if you into the manga, you know exactly what they get into with this, and somewhat in the anime. We'll get there. But yeah, Shigaraki taking Stain's philosophies, his ideas for his own, to create and make his foundations for his League of Villains. That's literally why a majority of the League of Villains are with him, because he basically said, yeah, he's one of us. And so Shigaraki's whole thing of the League of Villains is built on a lie. Another time when someone used another person's ideas for themselves is, and this one's sort of a stretch, in Back Butler, Trancy, I forget what his first name is, in season 2, uses Sebastian's desire for CL to trick him into making a deal that he doesn't really know what the deal is. If you've seen season 2, there are two demons. You have Sebastian and I can't think of the other one's name right now. But you have these two demons fighting over CL's soul. Both of them have been constantly during this whole season trying to get his soul. And Alo- I want to say Alois Trancy has his soul merged with CL's, and even though it's merged, they're kind of fighting over CL's body. So when Trancy finds out what really happened to his brother in this season, because you find out that his brother's been dead for a while, but once he finds out what happened to his brother, he decides that, hey, you know, I would like to be with my brother. And he makes a deal with another demon, which leads to the trickery on Sebastian to make him do something, because Sebastian is one hell of a butler. He will do whatever he needs to get his master back. And not knowing that the end result of getting his master back will lead him to um, being unsatisfied with his future in their universe. I would like to see what happens after, but yeah, uh, Alois Trancy really did screw over Sebastian with that, and that's why I say it's somewhat of a stretch, because he's using the ideas of Sebastian wanting um CL to his ability of changing the fate of both CL and Sebastian. Um, and yeah, in the next one I have is from Indorara. In Indorara, um, you have a cursed blade named Saya, who, if you're cut by, instantly make you one of her children. Well, since Saya is a cursed blade, apparently there have been smaller pieces of her that have gone out in um I don't know if they're smaller pieces, but it's like she has children type blades where like people are possessed, and if they cut somebody, they create more children, and it kind of goes out of control. And seeing that her kids are out of control, she rounds them up. And actually, at the end of the at the end of the first season, I want to say she uses them, and I think also somewhat at the end of the second season too. She uses them to kind of control like different fights and stuff that's going on. She basically makes them her own little communication network and stuff like that, using what her previous children created to basically keep the peace somewhat in their small city of Ikeburo. Um, another um, another one is from Helsing Ultimate, and this is somewhat of a stretch, also kind of like the Black Butler one, um, where you have the Major in Helsing Ultimate has um he has made a plan, knowing that he can't kill Alucard. He makes a plan to basically play off of Alucard's strength of you can't kill him because he has so many souls in him. Basically, for you to beat Alucard, you have to kill every single soul that he has in his river of blood or ocean of blood that he has. And so to dilute it, they put in uh, a creation that basically makes the idea of him. He's always saying that he is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. He's somewhat of a paradox in a way. He's everywhere that you would expect to be, but he's also nowhere at the same time. And he kind of puts that virus into Alucard to where Alucard falls asleep. Now, Alucard eventually is able to work his way out of it, but there was no guarantee that he would actually make it out of it. So you're talking about Alucard for, I think it was like 40 years, just stuck in his own mind, fighting himself, trying to fight down to where it's just him wrangling up every single personality that he has, because each one of those souls that he had to be brought in line so that he could come back. But the Major taking advantage of his immortality to basically defeat him at temporarily in the fight. So in a way, the Major won the battle but lost the war, because in the end, Alucard did come back. Um, another, and this one is a stretch as well. Another one that I have is from Overlord, when the adventurers came and attacked Nazarick. Now, that one's a that's a simple one. It was a plan um created by Ainz to have adventurers come attack, and it was something that they want to have happen, but they knew that adventurers wouldn't be able to defeat them. So they knew that they could get just about anybody do. So they let these people believe that they're saying, hey, there's some ruins that randomly came out of nowhere that haven't been picked out. No one's messing with yet. We should have a adventuring party go in and see what's going on there. And so when they did, when those people came to attack and they came up with their own plan, Ainz, took advantage of that and used their plan of attacking him, which he planned for them to do, to basically attack them and make their presence known in the world theater in a way. So that's why I'm like, it's people using things to their own advantage. And in the advantage still went back to the person who originally started but it's I feel like it's tricky to say, because it's like I'm creating a plan for a person to create a plan for me to take advantage of that plan so I can finish off my plan. And it's a lot of nuance to it, I guess I want to say. Another one would be Persona 5 Joker's Arrest. Now, if you've never played Persona 5 or you haven't watched the anime of it, I would recommend it. Either one is good. Um, Joker is arrested at the beginning of the anime, and basically the whole show is a recap of what he did um to uh basically it's a recap of how his group became the people that they are, who became, how each person became a part of the team, who became part of the team, what their powers were, and he just basically going through the story of how that happened. And in his plan of trying to uh get arrested and stuff like that, someone that he thought was an ally came in and decided to take him out. And that's the way it goes. He's taken out, and so someone used his plan to basically use it for themselves. Um, if you want to know more, you should probably watch the anime, because while I am spoiling some stuff, I'm trying to keep some air of mystery about it. Um, and I feel like that one's somewhat a stretch also. Um, Another time when someone used somebody else's idea is in prison school. In prison school, there's this orange-haired sports girl who just loves to she loves to just be a jerk to everybody. She hates the five guys that are there. Yeah, she hates the five guys that are there. But there was a situation that happened that put her and this guy into a um precarious situation. Um they both kind of had stuff happen, and most of the stuff happened to her. I'm trying not to. Okay, spoiler alert. I'm gonna go ahead and say she's upset because while she was trying to go to the bathroom, he accidentally fell from a tree while trying to put a bird back in its nest, saw her peeing, so she's upset because he saw her private parts. Well, now she wants to see his. While in the midst of trying to see his, he accidentally pees on her. Once he accidentally pees on her, now she feels like she gotta get him back for that. So now she wants him to pee on her. I mean, so now she wants him to let her pee on him. Amongst that, they almost get caught while this is happening, and his private area almost touched her private area. She freaked out, so now she wants him to pee while she wants him to pee into a cup while she pees on him. And I'm trying to remember what else. So yeah, all of it is just like real chaotic type stuff. But she's planning on getting him back. And she knowing that he's in love with this other girl, or in my dad would say, in lust over this other girl. He is crazy about this other girl who's real nice and sweet and stuff like that. And since he's so interested in her, she decides that, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take from you what you want from her. And she's like, I'm gonna take your first kiss because you're a virgin. So she proceeds to kiss him. And the whole thing is that he's also at the same time, he has a plan set up to try and uh get him and his friends out of prison and not be expelled at the same time. And so amongst all this stuff, as she's kissing him, he's realizing that this is not his first kiss, because this kiss is so not passionate, it's not personal, it's emotionless. It's just oh. And so try and save his friends, because he's the linchpin of this. If he's able to do this right, he will be able to save his friends, and they all will be able to stay at this school that has all girls, and all girls, only five guys. Words. But the problem is that he has to try and figure out how he's gonna do. So while she's trying to kiss him, he's like, you know what? I gotta go all in on this because this is for me and my friends. So he kisses her back, puts his tongue down her throat, and is kissing her till finally her eyes roll in the back of her head, and she doesn't know what to do. Like all this, once it happens, she loses all spirit. She like takes him back to his I'm about to say cage, back to his cell, locks him in, and she's just kind of like going through the motion. She just seems out of it the whole time. Goes and just walks off and is like, I gotta go. And that's the way it goes. Um yeah, so he took advantage of her perversion, because the whole thing, if you look at prison school, is just a giant perversion. Um, I do not recommend kids watching it. It's the best thing for me to say. Um, another, um, but yeah, another one is from Soul Leader. The demon in Soul Leader is constantly helping Maka and Soul get soul resonance to where they can get either the Witch Hunter blade or the um I forget what the other one was. But yeah, he's helping them to create higher levels of soul resonance. And so he constantly helping them. And they're like, okay, yeah, I constantly use this power. And the whole power goes through Soul playing piano. And it kind of resonates with, like, even with Black Star and Death the Kid, to where they're all able to soul resonance together and be able to fight against people. Well, the demon took that plan of how they were doing and used it to take Soul, because the demon came from the black blood of I forget, came from black blood, which is, as we know in the whole show, kind of chaotic and very crazy. And so it constantly was giving him the soul resonance so that it could finally take over him and get him out of the picture. Um and it was a good plan. It almost worked. Um if you've seen the show, you know that, they were able to find a way to get from under the demon cell, but it almost worked. But he did use the plan that they had of using Soul Res to finally trap Soul, which is the whole point of this, using somebody else's idea to. But you can also say that that was his plan in the first place. I'll constantly keep helping him. Basically, like, I'll just give him enough. I'll constantly keep giving him enough rope till he hangs himself. That was the plan. Um, the last one I have is from Tokyo Ghoul. In Tokyo Ghoul, season 1 ends with Ken Kaneki dead. Weird, or at least that's what you think at the end of season. I want to say season 1, but you come find out that he ain't dead. He was actually brainwashed into believing that he was someone else. So he's been living his whole life as just a regular guy. Well, not a regular guy, but a half ghoul who just so happens to be considered one of the strongest half and halves that they had. He was real nice and everything like that. But the humans were the ones who did this to him, because they couldn't constantly, even though they had their weapons that they thought could kill demons, they wanted to have a little bit more of an advantage. So they created a whole team of guys and girls that were half ghouls and controlled how much ghoul energy, ghoul they had in them. That way they could control their tentacles better. uh I'm sorry, I'm forgetting names like that, but those were just 10 different times where someone's twisted the original idea of something into something that suited them more. I hope y'all enjoyed that. um I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving meal if you are celebrating Thanksgiving. If not, I hope you just enjoyed this video, and I'll catch y'all later.